Next thing is the Washington Commies. The Washington football team has officially changed their name. We had a video. It's actually one of our most watched videos, if not our most watched video now on our channel, is the Washington football team, in which somebody told us we needed to do our research because we reported that the original names that they wanted to release was owned by a guy in the patent company, by a guy in Las Vegas, purchased those and was holding the team ransom. He said we needed to do our research because that the patent courts ended up removing that. Well, guess what? Out of all those team names that he purchased, the Commanders were not one of them. So, man, if only we did our research. Dang.
Yeah, let me just this little book here to see our research we've done. Oh, empty.
Oh, and wait, I have that list of all the times I asked for that guy's opinion. As you can see here, 0. Yeah. So they didn't pick. Shocking.
This right here. If you could just notice what's in here. These are all the
fucks you gave about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So none of those names were picked. Coincidentally, maybe. But for the most part, it was the fact that Dan Snyder said as soon as that situation happened, none of those names were interested to him anymore. If he had listened to that interview or that discussion with Dan Snyder, maybe he would have understood that. But instead, he just wanted to be mad at us. So, as I've seen a couple other people mention before with people that make uneducated comments, get out of here. Get out of here. So we did, to say that I don't do my research, I was a little bit offended. That's why I do sound a little salty. I do research every day of the week. So yeah, I was pretty solid. I do research and I try to make sure I'm well educated on every topic we talk about. So we were right. That guy was wrong. He can just fuck right off. So anyway.
A little horn there.
So they have become the Washington Commanders. I think football team is better than Commanders. I don't think Commanders is a bad name. I think it is a good name. However, when your team is in Washington and you were formerly the Redskins, Commanders becomes a bad name. And when it was a team that was in the American Alliance of Football, and you take that, all the factors that come into it, and because you use a red star, which looks like a communist logo, and now people can call you the commies, that's a bad name. When you replace the Indians with the people that took over and replaced the Indians, it's a bad name. I don't like the name. If it was on any other team, if the Buffalo Bills became the Buffalo Commanders, yeah, you know what? That's fine. If these teams want to change their name to the Commanders, I think with all the things, everything has context. When you take the context into it, Commanders is a bad name. But Dan Snyder making a bad decision is a pairing better than peanut butter and chocolate. That's just Dan Snyder and making dumb decisions. It's just, yeah, you can rely on it. You can just always. It's just going to happen. Red Hogs, still my number one choice.
Yeah, I think Red Hogs would have been my choice too. You'd the opportunity for you to have pig masks in the stadium, even the saw pig masks that are super scary, they still would have fit.
Yeah.
I don't know, it would have caused some fear into other people. I don't know.
I was listening to a local sports podcast that absolutely shit on the name Red Hogs. Just absolutely talked about how much they hated it and said it was the dumbest name of all the choices. I think Warriors and Commanders were and Armada were all the military ones.
Well, you couldn't do Armada because you needed an S in the name.
Oh, got it. So now we're Commanders. We got all the team. Now you got rid of football team. Now all the teams have an S in them again. Red Hogs and Red Wolves and Red Tails were there for you.
And here's the thing. You can even if you do Red Hogs, you can still have the girls will still dress up all slutty in pig costumes too. So there's the thing. You're gonna have men painting themselves pig with huge bellies, not having shirts on, pig noses. I don't know. Brilliant in my opinion. Someone outside selling pig noses to every fan that comes in for $10.
Sewage was falling from the ceiling of the football team stadium.
Yeah.
Pigs would love that.
Exactly. Rolling around in their own slop.
Yeah, exactly. And so Chase Young last year or earlier this year was being interviewed, and they gave him a list of all the names of the potential football team, like what they were thinking about. When Commanders came by, he gave it an F. Your best player hated the name, and Dan Snyder was probably like, that's the one we want. He doesn't like. I swear
we can't make our decision based off one opinion.
I swear Dan Snyder heard how much everybody loved Red Tails, Red Hogs, Red Wolves. I think he heard everybody loving the Red Wolves and Red Tails, and he saw all the hate for the military names, and he immediately was like, Commanders. Because it was reported before the season started that he had picked a name.
Yeah.
So that means he picked Commanders 6 months ago. Like, he was ready to pick it. And that was when everybody was talking about Red Tails and Red Wolves.
Right.
And all the these people took 6 months to come up with these, like, they're keeping with the color scheme, the logo's changing. Like, they took 6 months to design all this stuff. And Twitter came up with better ideas in 2 hours.
Yep.
Twitter had better mock-ups of Red Wolves, had better like slogans, and they even took the same hashtag of the AAF team that was called the Commanders, Take Command. It's still the same. Like, it was, It's just very little. It's again, very Dan Snyder, very little thought, little effort, and very stubborn of a choice.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would rally behind it. Like, don't you want fans to go to the game? Fans are the ones that you probably want to appease. The fans liked Red Wolves and Red Tails. You wanted to get away from the Redskins and that like bad, terrible history of a name, but instead you kind of doubled down on it by replacing it with the people that replaced that took them over. And you could have replaced that with Red Tails that has some people of color history with it. It's just Dan Snyder doubling down on not giving a single shit about what anybody else thinks. Yeah. It's peak Dan Snyder with the Commanders.
For sure.
I'm kind of digging into this topic, so we can move on, but I despise the name.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, I hate it.
Even our buddy Mike said that football team was better than
team's better.
Yeah.
I didn't like football team. I mentioned that in a previous video. I don't like football team. It grew on me, but I still didn't like it. It's better than Commanders.